Hi guys, and welcome to another place. Seriously though guys, that's what this is called, another place. That gag was a little bit too BBC regional local news. This is a worrying development. Crosby, Stills and Nash, Bing Crosby, Crosby Beach. What have they all got in common? They've all got Crosby in them, that's what. These gags are terrible. This is a really worrying development. Now, this is not the history mystery that we have come to catalogue today, but you cannot come to Crosby Beach without taking a look to Anthony Gormley's amazing 2007 art installation, Another Place. It is actually obligatory if you come here. Yes, yep. Yeah, I did the history mystery gag too. Yeah, done that one. Okay, cheers. Bye, 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 bye. There are 100 of these cast iron critters spread around about a mile out to sea here on the beach at Crosby Beach. As with all modern art, what they symbolise is known only to the creator. So we are left to speculate ourselves as to what these bizarre figures are all about. For me, they symbolise man turning his back on the land that he has destroyed and looking out to sea to discover some place else to go now that he's ruined everything. But of course, he's ruined the sea as well. So really, space is the only option. So that's Another Place by Anthony Gormley, but that's not what we're here today to catalogue in our coastal catalogue. What we're going to have a look at is up there. Come with me. One of the mysteries of World War II is what happened to all of those blitzed buildings. Some of the rubble was used as ballast in ships, we do know that, and some went to America to underpin some of those sort of Manhattan islands. When we look at footage of places like Berlin and London, with all that bomb damage, it is a bit of a mystery as to what happened to all that rubble. But here on Crosby Beach, we do have a rare glimpse as to where it went. And here it is, Liverpool Blitz rubble on Crosby Beach. Second only to London, Liverpool suffered major damage in World War II. And at some point, and we don't know when, even though we're only talking 60 or 70 years ago, it's not recorded as to when this Blitz rubble was moved down onto the beach and dumped here. And after 60 or 70 years, much of this masonry has been eroded by the sea and the weather to take on bizarre forms. As well as all the bricks, there are some significant chunks of masonry, such as this one here, where we've got some lettering. You can spend a week down here trying to work out what was what. The weathering of the brickwork really is quite bizarre. There's also lumps of concrete everywhere that have become, where they were once angular, they're now sort of rounded and sinuous with their cores exposed. Some of it, I have to say, is quite macabre and sinister, a bit like those creepy mannequins on the beach up there. See what I mean? Just take a look at this. The only expression I can think of is, it bain't natural. So take a look at this, for example. I don't know what this was, whether it was a floor or a wall. It's got a sort of a Art Deco type thing going on. But here it is on the beach. And everywhere we look, we've got these Accrington bricks. This one has got, and there's loads of these, Enfield Plastics Accrington on it. So the Accrington brick thing is a clue to one of the challenges for Blitz archaeologists here, which is that records show that in the 1970s further rubble was dropped here when there was this big effort, big focus on destroying everything that had survived from World War II. And there is another problem that faces World War II archaeologists, if there are such a thing, and I believe that there are. A question for you. What were buildings from the Victorian era, early 20th century as well, what were they laced with? And the answer is asbestos. So do be careful if you come here to have a look around, and I would highly recommend a full health and safety risk assessment. I have an admission to make. I'm not interested in the Second World War. What a terrible thing to say. It's an abomination, isn't it? But I am interested in our built heritage, and that's why this place fascinates me so much. It has a particular poignancy, I think, for the British, because unlike our friends now in Europe, who carefully and fastidiously rebuilt their destroyed medieval buildings, Victorian, Georgian, not that they would refer to their buildings by our monarchs, but they rebuilt everything carefully. They recreated it all. Whereas here in Britain, we didn't want to conserve it, did we? We wanted to sweep it all away. And that's why by the 1970s, they were adding more stuff here. They were bringing buildings here that had survived and then been torn down. We had a brief respite, didn't we? I guess sort of in the 80s, late 80s, possibly through to the 2010s. But over the last decade, we've been back at it again. It seems that anything that is old must be swept away. There is a young lady who is researching the debris on the beach here. She takes pictures of it, particularly bits that have got inscriptions on, and posts it online, I think Facebook. And people have contacted her to help her to identify it from memory presumably, or pictures. There have even been gravestones that have been identified, and they've been able to locate the church. The bombed out churches were just scooped up and dumped here on the beach. Whilst people are undoubtedly robbing stuff from the beach every year, there's a couple of bits that I really liked that seem to have gone. I don't know if robbing's the right word. Who does this belong to? But as you can see from the eroding bank here, there's more stuff coming out every year. Well, somewhat unusually, I've run out of things to say, so it seems like an opportune moment to cue B-roll. A bit different than the normal content on this channel, but I hope you found it interesting. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click that little bell thing, so make sure you never miss out on another upload. I forget to say that. So until next Sunday, stay tuned. Yes, another successful ending.